Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we're going to be doing another exciting episode where we're looking at 10mm ammunition. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new offering from Federal. It's part of their premium lineup and it's their Solid Core Syntech Jacket FN. I don't know, should be fun. Let's see if it's up to snuff. Let's take a look and let's get shooting. Okay, so what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to be taking a closer look at this Federal Premium Syntech technology, solid core. We're going to be testing it out for its ballistic performance in terms of what it gets in terms of energy foot-pounds. We've got three different length barrels that we're going to be testing it out in. We've got our Springfield XDM Elite that has a 3.8-inch barrel. We've got a SIG Emperor Scorpion 1911 that has a 5-inch barrel. And then we have a Tanfoglio 6-inch barrel that we're going to be testing it in. We're going to have our Garmin Xero C1 out, and we're going to see what kind of velocities we get and what kind of accuracy this ammunition produces in these guns today. Should be a fun episode. Let's get to shooting. Okay, well, first up, we have it loaded, 5 rounds loaded in our Springfield XDM Elite. We've got our Garmin Xero C1, who knows what it's called. And so we're going to be shooting 5 rounds and getting our averages from that. 1101, 1098, 1089, 1093, and 1096. All right, well, let's start a new group and let's move on to our 5-inch, and then we'll move on to our 6-inch, and then we'll do some add up, we'll talk about that, and then we'll shoot some of these guns for accuracy. All right, we got our Garmin ready. We have the SIG 1911. Let's see how we do shooting this ammo with it. 1155, that's a pretty significant jump up. Normally what you want to see is 1,200 feet per second out of a 200 grain projectile. That's what this is. I don't really know what that solid core means. They advertise it as bear defense, animal defense, brown bear, black bear. I don't know exactly what the makeup of this round is. If I find some in my online searching, I'll put that in the text. But with the 5-inch, it seems to be getting better velocities. I do see some rounds of ammunition don't make much of a difference between the Springfield XDM Elite and this 5-inch barrel on the 1911. And what I'm seeing on this so far with the first shot is that that's, you know, a 55 feet per second difference is pretty good jump up in velocity. And so this ammunition scales up pretty well. 1107, so that's not as good. 1127, not as good. 1133. So was that a one-time fluke? And 1122, it could have been. That first shot was our highest shot. And yeah, not much difference. I won't share the add-ups until we get through all of the shooting, so let's move on to the Tanfoglio. All right, let's shoot 5 shots. 1149. 1149.5. 1141.8, 1157.2, and 1146.1. All right, well, let's take a look at the add up of all 3 of these and see what we got for comparison. Okay, so let's just take a look, and I'll show these add ups as I'm speaking here. But we got only 1096 feet per second out of the Springfield XDM Elite, only 1128, if I'm remembering properly, out of this SIG 1911, and then what, 1148 out of this Tanfoglio 6-inch. Those feet per second, none of them pass 600 energy foot-pounds. This is more around less than 500, and well, 550, somewhere around there, 530 energy foot-pounds. That is terrible. That's like some of the worst of our range ammo that you can buy for a fraction of the price that you're going to be spending on this premium ammunition that comes in this great case that looks like, candidly, it looks like some of their other cases, but it also looks like buffalo bore, and they're trying to sell it to you like buffalo bore. If this is the only thing you can get, hey, it's great. you know, not going to knock it. It's still more than you're going to get at a 9mm. It's still more than most rounds you're going to get out of 40 Smith & Wesson. It's still more than most rounds out of 357 SIG, but I've seen 357 SIG and 40 Smith & Wesson at these levels. So this is kind of poor choices, Federal. Boo. Do better, Federal. Boo. We're still at the range. I still want to shoot. Let's do some accuracy testing with this at something like 10 yards and see how we do. All right, we got the XCM Elite. We're going to be taking a look and doing the far lower left target. See how we do with our 5-shot group. Well, it took me a second to get used to it. Not very happy with that group, but it is what it is. And we show things as they happen on Trigger Bar Philosopher, the good, the bad, the ugly, and certainly have me on the channel, so you got the ugly. Boy, that was kind of ugly. I don't feel like I'm shooting super well. Could be the ammo. Could very well be the ammo, but I doubt it. Yeah, it's not the ammo. It's how I'm shooting. So a little bit better gun, and the group's tightened way up. Of course, you know, my zero for these guns are on different sets of ammunition, and so zero is going to change, but we're talking about precision and accuracy. We're talking about precision versus accuracy. So I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty excited about that, especially shooting that Tanfoglio so well. You know, I went through so many problems with it, with dots on these guns. This one recently jumped off and hit me. I'll leave a link to that. Earlier on, this one jumped off and hit me. I moved to the frame-mounted thing, and I got a little bit of thumb lever. I kind of have it set up like someone might have it with a throw arm. Someone might have it set up to run in a competition. Of course, if you really lightly loaded this 10mm, I think this would be a fantastic major gun. You'd need a comp on it. Let's tidy things up. Okay, well, at least for the moment, I've got the range to myself again, so I can take the Ear Pro off and talk to you just for a little bit. So I think I was hopeful with this ammunition that we would see Underwood, Buffalo Bore type self-defense rounds with this, or even, you know, some of our home loads. But I just don't think it's there. I don't think that Federal, I guess, is willing to take the risk and load these to what full spec is. All of these guns are capable of shooting full spec, and I've seen that. I don't know what it is with manufacturers, especially Federal, why they won't go up to the full standard, especially when they're charging premium prices for it. So let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you are interested in? I guess on the box, I did just a little bit more reading. It says extremely hard lead bullet core. I don't know what else is around it. I'm guessing it's just hard cast with a synthetic coating on it, and that's their Syntech thing there. It says Syntech jacket eliminates lead fouling. So that's exactly, they've just put a slick coating on it. And it's a powerful protection against aggressive bears and other dangerous animals. Now, do I think it can do the job against aggressive bears and other dangerous animals? I would say black bears, mountain bears, no problem. I would worry about a very big grizzly bear that has a very thick coat. I've talked about this one before. There's a story out on YouTube that you can watch where a couple of guys were outdoorsmen. They were guides. They're people that they were guiding had previously wounded a bear. They went out after dark hunting for this bear who presumably had been hit. They found it and it charged them. And there were 4 of them. They had 44 mags, they had 10mm, they had 45 ACP, and none of the rounds, they shot like 20, 30 times, and only a couple of the rounds made it to vitals. But most of the rounds were impacting and getting stuck in the fat, and they had about 8 inches of fat on that bear. So I would say you want as much penetration as you can get. That's not going to give it to you. Now, if this is the only thing you can get, I think this is better than a hollow point. I don't think hollow points are appropriate for bears, especially grizzly bears. So I would use this over a hollow point, but I would go out and buy some AAC FMJ, Magtech FMJ, Underwood range ammo, or obviously spend the money on some of the Underwood Hardcast Extreme Penetrator, or the Buffalo Bore Hardcast, or even the Buffalo Bore Monometal, which I've tested all of those on my channel and I have videos on. So let me know what you guys think about these guns, about this ammunition. Hope everyone has a great week, and let's get to shooting.